Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Moves Models. It's been a little while since I've been able to sit down at the bench and get the camera out properly and do a video. Those of you might have seen I did a little video explaining the reasons why, but I'll just go back over it anyway. Basically, I've been really quite busy doing some decorating around the house and also quite busy with work shifts, and just haven't had much time at the bench. And the bit of time that I have had at the bench, I've just basically wanted to do a little bit of building, and even at that I haven't actually done that much recently. But I've got a few days off, so I thought, you know, we'll get back at the bench today, and we'll get the camera out and give you a little update. So this is going to be my May 2018 bench update, and I'm just going to sort of follow the usual format, go over what's going on the bench recently in terms of building, what purchases I've made recently, and also sort of what projects we're going to be looking at doing in the near future. I haven't actually got any completions to show you, unfortunately. I haven't finished anything since the Harry and the Tornado on my last update. Bit slack really, but hey ho. I have made a bit of progress on three of the builds that I've got ongoing at the minute, and I'll show you that in a few minutes once I get the cameras pointed down at the bench. I have spent a bit of money, don't tell the wife, and I've got a fair few sort of new purchases to show you, kits mainly, a couple of tools as well, and that is about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the camera pointed down at the bench and get the phone camera set up above it, and we'll get cracking showing you what is ongoing on the moment and how we're doing the ongoing projects. So, ongoing projects at the minute. I've got still the 4 kits on the go, one of which I haven't touched at all recently, and that is the 1:72 scale Airfix Tucano. So I'm not going to bother showing you that because I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to mount the aircraft on the base as I want to do it. Otherwise, I have been pushing on a little bit. I'll start up with the Canadair CL415 here. So this has been primed, and I've started a base colour on it of white. I've been struggling with this one quite a lot. It took quite a lot of work to get it to the point where I'm sort of happy to put it into primer. A lot of filling, a lot of sanding, some rescribing. There are some photo etched parts in it, and I think, to be honest, they're not actually worth the hassle. So there were plastic moulded lines around the nose here which I took off, and I should be replacing them with some photo etch, but it's not working for me, so I'm going to leave it off and put on these little blades here on top of the wing as well. Once again, in hindsight, I would have been better off leaving them with just the plastic part. Anyway, it's one of those where we've been struggling. As I say, I could do doing a bit more sanding underneath here, but I just want to push on now. It's going to be on a water base, in the water, so the hull's going to be in the water, so I'm not too fussed about the fact that it's not too tidy around the edges here. So I'll just bring you in a little bit closer. There we go, and I'll just get you to focus onto that, if it will. There we go. So there we go. So we've got some focus. So yeah, so it is getting there. But as I say, it's been a bit of a morale zapping build, to be honest. I will be glad to see this one done, as it has been really tough to get it to this point. I don't think I'll be building anything for main model anytime soon. I think they do some fantastic builds, kits in terms of subjects. I just think the quality, it needs so much work to get it to a point where I was happy with it. Just going to bring it up to the top camera here and just let you have a quick look around. So let's try and get a bit of light onto it. Oopsie daisy. So there we go. Just so you can see on the top camera. The seams and all that look quite nice, to be honest. I'm quite happy with those. Underneath it, on the hull here, as you can see, just where the photo etch is, that's just glue. Needs probably be sanding, but as it's going to be sat in water, you're not going to see it. But yeah, so that's the Canadair CL415 coming along. So next step is going to be to get it into paint, and for that I'm going to be using some yellow paint, hence why I put a base coat of white on underneath it, just helps it pop. Next one, where I've carried on pushing on a little bit more, is the Revell Augusta 109. So this has had its first coat of paint on. I've used some Tamiya X2 gloss white, thinned 50/50 with Mr. Hobby self-leveling thinner. That now needs masking so I can get the red onto it, and we will take it from there. So that one's progressing along relatively nicely. I'm quite happy with the way it's looking at the minute. Yeah, it's not too bad. So hopefully, I will get some more paint onto that soon, and can push on with this one because it's been on the bench for a while now. So it really needs to. I need to crack on and get it done. I'll just pop it up to the top camera as well, just to have a little look underneath. There we go. So as you can see, it's looking alright in the white. Might benefit from another little coat of white just on the underneath there. Looks a little bit patchy to me, but that could just be the light. But yeah, so I think we're ready for the red colour on it. And finally, the last kit which we're building at the minute is the Hurricane. This is for Tim Henwood's British Aviation in Scale #RAF 100 in Scale group build. So most of the assembly is obviously done, as you can see. It's been primed, and that is now ready to start getting some colours on it. So I'll do some bit more work on that because the group build finishes in mid-July. I think it's mid-July. I hope it's mid-July. I need to get underneath painted up in the white, aluminium and black, and then we can start working on top with the dark earth and dark green camouflage. I've also masked all the primed all the other bits, the propellers, rotors, undercarriage bay, gears and all that stuff. So that one's coming along quite nicely. Hopefully get a bit more work done on that soon as well. So that's where we are in terms of kits that have been built at the minute. I'm just going to back the camera out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab the boxes and everything from what I've purchased recently, and then I'll run through that with you guys as well. So purchases, it's been probably about a month and a half or so since my last update from the bench, and about a month or so since my update from the IPMS Shropshire show. So there's been a few additions to the stash. Most of my kits have come second hand. I've got 4 second hand kits and 1 brand new kit, and in my opinion they're all pretty good bargains. Just don't tell the wife, please. The first kit I got off eBay, going for a bit less than a tenner, was another Airfix 1/72 scale new tooling Harrier GR7/GR9. If you did watch the IPMS Shropshire show report, I got a old tool Airfix Harrier, which has got a GR5 nose, and the idea is to mount the GR5 nose onto one of new tool kits to get a nice Harrier GR5. And to go with that, because obviously it needs decals, I got this set here from Model Decal. I think this cost me about £2 or £3, whatever it was. And in here it's got a fair few decals for the Harrier GR5. So that's me all set up now to do every single Harrier type that has been operated by the Royal Navy or Royal Air Force. Pretty much. I mean, you could be really finicky and say I'm not going to do every single one of the trainer versions, but I'm going to do one of the older Harrier trainers and one of the new Harrier trainers. So that's my little Harrier SIG setup. And to go with it also, I got some photo etch from Airways. Now, I know this is for the Italieri and Revell GR5, but I'm hoping I'll be able to use the instrument panel and some of the cockpit photo etch to represent the Harrier GR5 cockpit instead of the GR7, because there were some differences. Otherwise, kit-wise, I got this rather nice looking Revell NH90 NFH, which is a naval helicopter. It comes with markings for the French Marine Nationale and the Dutch Navy. I'll be doing it in French Navy markings, and I'm going to modify the kit a little bit to try and represent one of the search and rescue birds flying out of Languedoc in Brittany. So look forward to that one at some point. It's actually quite a decent size for a helicopter in 1/72 scales. Then there's a chap on the Floyding Models website who was flogging some kits from his stash, and I got a relatively good bargain here once again. Now, I actually wanted to buy his X-Wing, but I cut and pasted the wrong line into the message that I sent to him to buy it, so I ended up saying I wanted a TIE Fighter. But in fact, he has sent me Darth Vader's Advanced TIE Fighter, which is pretty cool. There's no instructions in here, but everything else is in there that I need, including the decals and stuff. So that's going to be sort of my second piece of sci-fi that I ever do after the Millennium Falcon I did last year. So something different. And from the same chap, I got this sort of rather beastly looking box here. Just let me back you out a bit. There we go. And this is Eduard's BF-110 G4 Night Fighter. In 1/72 scale, this cost about tenner as well. And the reason I wanted this aircraft is basically my great uncle, when he served in the Pathfinders, there's a couple of times where they were attacked by night fighters whilst on bombing raids of Germany, and although I'm never going to know exactly what squadron it was that carried out the attack and etc, etc, he documents that they were ME-110s. So this represents a pretty good view of a ME-110 night fighter from the sort of right period, so I snapped that up when I could, and that comes with goodies, photo etch, mask and stuff like that. The last kit that I got, and this is a brand new kit, but I got it from Japan for very reasonable price really, is this Hasegawa F-117 Nighthawk in Desert Storm markings. This one actually comes with the GBU 28s in it, and detailed bomb bay, and I got this for about 20 quid. Delivered from Japan. If I was going to get this in the UK, I'd be looking well over 40 odd quid for the kit, so that definitely is a bargain for me. You just take the risk of customs charges and stuff, but I was lucky. So yeah, the difference with this kit compared to the other ones is this white screw here. It's basically all the Bombay bits and GBU 28s are bunker busters, so something to build. So I've got an F-15E from Desert Storm and an F-117E to do from there. And lastly, but not least, little bits and bobs that I've also got in. I've got these. These are masking sets for the Hurricane Mark 1 in the A camouflage pattern. So this is for the 1/72 scale Airfix Hurricane that I'm building at the moment. So we'll give that a go. See if I've never used a masking set to do camouflage before. Also, I've got a little bit of aftermarket in. Lassonal was doing a deal where basically they're doing free shipping on everything on the site, and I fancied getting this Damocles laser designating pod for the Rafale, so got that. If not, it would have cost me more to get the postage. The postage would cost more than the actual resin part, but seeing the postage for it is worth getting. I also thought I'd give this a go. I saw this advertised on the IPMS's website, by the IPMS UK, and it's a seam scraper tool. It's quite reasonable, and I thought I'd see whether that works, so got that one in. Also got in some aftermarket decals from Hannants, and these are for F16s, and they're the Havglass 5 schemes. The reason I got these in is ages ago at Telford I bought a Academy S16C block, get this right, block 42, 52 in Thunderbird's markings, and I didn't fancy doing the Thunderbird marking. I wanted to do it as an operational jet, so I got the decals to do one of these sort of newer blocks in this Havglass scheme, so just because I think it's different. Also, I've got these little things in here. Now, they're a bit delicate. All these off Shapeways. Shapeways is a 3D printing company, and these are 1/72 scale WE-177C nuclear bombs. And the reason I wanted these is at some point I want to do one of the Tornadoes in the 1980 scheme, as it would have been sat on QRA duties with one or two of these underneath the fuselage, and there aren't any styrene moulded ones that you can see, or even resin ones, so the only thing is the 3D printed parts. Now, the detail on it's pretty good. I could have paid to have a higher level of detail 3D printing, but I think for the scale it would be fine. So yeah, something completely different. There's no markings or anything on it, but it's all going to be painted anyway, so that shouldn't be an issue. And finally, the last thing which kind of came into my stash, and this was free of charge, courtesy of Mr. Phil Flory himself, was these. These are spares from his F4 Phantom that he built as part of the live shows on the Wednesday night that he does. I think he shows it on some of his vlogs, which are on free to watch on YouTube. I'll try and link one in down below so you can see the end result of his build. It's fantastic. But Airfix in the boxing have these bombs, and these are British 540 pounder bombs, not 1,000 pounder bombs. They're slightly smaller. And I've been after some of these simply because one of the Harriers that I want to build, I want to do it in one of the earlier sort of Op Herrick markings. And one of the configurations used to carry was 2 Paveway 2s, 1,000 pounder Paveways, and 2 540 pounder iron bombs, dun bombs. So I wanted it for that. So he said, yeah, I'll send them to you. Send them free of charge, including postage. So top bloke, thank you very much, Phil. So I'll put those to good use, hopefully. So that kind of sums up everything that we have got into the stash this month. Well, more than a month, and also you've sort of seen where my projects are in a minute. So what I'm going to do is flip the cameras back round, and I'll have a little chit chat about what might be upcoming in terms of builds on the channel soon-ish. There's a couple of SIGs and group builds which started, which I'd like to enter, but I'm probably going to try and finish my ongoing builds before starting anything else. So I'll flip the camera back round and speak to you face to face about that. So we've had a quick look around what is being built on the bench at the minute, and I want to have a quick talk about what I will be starting at some point in the future, near the future that is. I sort of got 3 group builds that I entered and completed. They finished this year already, so quite sure for that. I've got 2 which are ongoing at the minute, and I've got 2 which I'm going to enter, and both of those are going to beat my group builds. They're SIG builds, but both of them are on the Flory Models website. The first one is the Flory Models IF 100 anniversary SIG. That runs all the way through to the end of the year, so I'm definitely going to be entering that. And I've got a nice little kit that I'm going to build for that one, and it's this little beauty here. This is the Tamiya Mosquito Fighter Bomber Mark 6 and Night Fighter Mark 2. I intend on building this as a Mark 6 fighter bomber with some aftermarket decals to make it a 617 Squadron Mosquito. I'd say that runs through to the end of the year, so I've got plenty of time to build that, but I do want to get going on that because the actual build's already started. I'm just resisting starting another kit whilst I've got 4 on the go already, so once one of those is finished I'll make a start on that. The second one is still going to be on Floyd models, and we're running a Air National Guard SIG. So basically anything that's operated by a reserve unit or an Air National Guard unit. And for that, I've got kind of the perfect kit. I've got this Academy 172 scale F-16C Air National Guard variant. So that should fit the picture perfectly for that. And those are the only sort of 2 SIGs / group builds that I intend on entering now until the end of the year, unless something pops up on Facebook or YouTube that I really fancy having a go at. I don't know, we'll see, keep it posted. Also, in regards to the IF 100 anniversary SIG for the Floyd models, if that to me goes together as well as I hope it will, as well as I've seen it does go together really well from what I've seen on the internet. So if it goes together really well and get a good advance in that and get it finished well in time, I'll enter in a little RAF Red Arrows Hawk, just because I think the Red Arrows are quite symbolic of the RAF, so it'd fit the group build quite nicely, the SIG quite nicely. With that, I also want to carry on with my little own sort of theme build of the Harrier. I've got 2 finished in the last sort of 6 months, the GR1 and the GR3. So the next one that I want to do is the Sword Harrier T2, T4, T Mark 4N. But I think that kit there might just take a little bit of work to do, so I don't want to start another kit which is going to be time consuming and sort of take a lot of effort, whilst I've already got one on the go in the forms of the Super Scooper, the Canadair. But once that Canadair is out of the way, I'll get building on that Sword Harrier, I think. And if not, I mean, I've got plenty of kits in the stash to keep them building. So that's about that. So all I've got left to do, guys, is as always a massive thank you to all of you who sort of follow along, subscribe. I'm really chuffed that I've picked up a few more subscribers. You never know, might get to the 100 subscriber mark, which I'd be impressed with. I'll be really happy if we do that. We'll see. And with that, I'm going to just say, as I say, a big thank you for all your support and all the kind comments that I have on the videos. They're always appreciated. Any kind of feedback is appreciated, whether it's positive or whether things could be improved. I'm happy to hear people's opinions. If you think I can make the videos a bit better for you and a bit more enjoyable, let me know. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. So as always, I'm going to say happy modelling. I'll see you soon. Take care and bye-bye. Bye.